design pop with just one smooth animation? In this video, I will show you how to create an animated zoom effect in Figma. No code, no stress, and you can do it in minutes. Let's bring your design to life. So the first thing you are going to do is to come to this tool section here, down here. Then you come to frame and click and highlight this frame. When you click and highlight this frame, you will see that there's frames, different frame types are going to show on this right hand panel. Then what we're doing is you're going to click on this drop down for desktop. Then you now come to desktop frame. Then you now click on desktop. Then you will now have your frame on your Canva. You now have your frame on your Canva. So now when you have your frame in your Canva, the next thing now you're going to do is you're going to reduce the size of this frame, this desktop frame. You're going to reduce the size. So for you to reduce the size, you're now going to come to the right hand side panel, and under layout dimension you will see width and height. So we are going to reduce the height. So you click and highlight, then you now change the height to 750. You now change the height to 750 and enter. So now you would see that the size of the frame is now going to reduce. So now once you've done that, the next thing you're going to do is to have a shape, a rectangle shape, where you're going to place your image in for your hero section. So for you to be able to do that, you are now going to come down here to the tool section, and you click on this drop down. Then you now pick rectangle shape. So when you pick on the rectangle shape, you will see that your cursor is going to change to plus. Then you now bring your cursor at the left top of your desktop frame. So you're now going to left click and drag to draw this shape inside the frame. So after you've drawn this shape inside your frame, the next thing you are now going to do is to have your image inside the shape. To have your image inside the shape. So for you to have your image inside the shape, I believe by now you must have downloaded the image you want to use. It's either you use Image FX, which is an AI tool where that can help you generate an image with a prompt. In case you want me to teach you how to generate images with Image FX, you would let me know in the comment section. So you're going to use Unsplash, which is a Figma plugin to get your images. But already, for the sake of this tutorial, I've gotten an image just for the video not to be too long. So you're now going to come to this logo. When you come to this logo, you see it's saying at the top left, you will see that it's showing main menu. So you're now going to click on this drop down. When you click on this drop down, you're now going to come to file, then come to place image. Then you are now going to click on place image. It's now going to open your file folder. So when it opens your file folder, this is my image that I'm going to use. You will click on this image, then open. When you click and open, you will see, if you notice, you will see that the image is attached to my cursor. The image is attached to my cursor, and when I bring it on top of this frame here, you will see that there is a blue highlight, meaning I'm going to it's ready for me, the frame is ready for me to click on to attach this image to it. So what I will just do is I will just click on this frame, and the image will automatically be attached, and the image will automatically be attached. So the next thing you are now going to do, in case you have an image like mine whereby the top side is a little bit the color is a little bit light, for the sake of contrast, I'm going to use white text. So for the sake of contrast, this top side is a little bit light. So to again to it, I'm now going to do something. So what am I going to do? I want to create contrast, and for me to be able to create contrast on this image, I'm now going to come back. You're now going to come back to frame tool. You're now going to come back to tool again. When you come back to tool section, you're now going to come to rectangle. Click on the rectangle again, then come back and do the same thing you did last time. So we are now going to drag and draw another shape on top of this. So when you drag and you draw another shape on top of this, the next thing now you're going to do is to come to your right hand side panel, which you're going to scroll down and come to this fill. Now you come to this fill, you see this part where you have the color box here. You're now going to click on this color box, then it's going to bring out the color palette for you. So when it brings out the color palette for you, the next thing you're going to do is to make it black. So we want it to be black. So for my own case, under here, if you're lucky to have colors, fine, you can have, like me, I have black color here, but for the sake of the tutorial, you are now going to come to this dot here on the color palette. Then you are now going to left click and hold and drag. Then you're now going to drag it to the bottom. So now you will see that the number here is showing 000. That's black. That's a black code, color code. So now once you've done that, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to X and close the color palette. Then you're now going to come to this part, this side of the color, which carries the opacity, which you can also call transparency, right? So we're now going to click on this opacity, and we're now going to reduce the opacity. So let's say we're going to give it opacity of 30. So we have an opacity of 30. So if 30 is still too bright, you can now give it 40 something. So we have something like this. So we have reduced the opacity and we have something like this. So the next thing we're going to do after you've done this, the next thing you are now going to do is we're now going to start creating the headers. I think I have a prepared logo already. Which I'm going to bring and insert here. So we're going to have the headers, which is the logo, the menu, and we're going to have links here. Then we're going to have hero title, and we're going to have hero text, and we're going to have button. Then we're going to have an image here. So let's start creating. So for us to create, you are going to just come on top of this screen a little and zoom in. So when you come on top of the screen and zoom in, so now you're ready to start creating. So what's the first thing you're going to do? You come to this your tool section. You now click on text. When you click on text, you'll see that your cursor is now going to be a plus sign. So when your cursor has this plus sign, you're now going to come to this Canva and you click on this Canva. So when you click on this Canva, you're now going to have this line, meaning your text is ready to be typed in. So what you'll now do next is to type in your home. Now when you type in your home, first of all, you will come to the right hand side of the panel under typography. You're going to now change this typography. I would want you to use a readable font. We call it sans serif font, which is a readable font. So for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to pick a readable font, which is Inter. So I'll now pick Inter here. When I pick Enter, I'm going to have something like this. Then also we'll come to this size. We'll come to this text size, and we're now going to reduce the text size to 16. We're now going to reduce the text size to 16. So we're going to have something like this. So when you have something like this, you already have your home. Then the next thing you do is you're now going to put this in a container, and this container is called auto layout. So for you to put this in a container, you're now going to hold on shift while this your text is highlighted showing blue like this. You're now going to hold on shift and A to give it an auto layout. You see that it has created a container. So now after it has done this, the next thing, meaning our home is ready right now, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to now duplicate this to create the other menus. We're going to duplicate this to create the other menus. So for us to create this, to duplicate this, is you are going to make sure you highlight this frame, this container like this. You see it's showing frame. So now, but what I would want you to do next is I would want you to rename this your frame. You are now going to come to this frame area, then you rename it. You now say home, you name it home. Then now you have your home frame. Then what you do is you highlight on this home frame, then you hold on alt, then you left click. When you hold on alt and you left click, you see that it's showing this red line around, and also the cursor is duplicated. You see that the cursor is duplicated, so meaning it's ready to duplicate. It has duplicated already. So what you just need to do is to drag your mouse to this side and you have duplicated. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the content here of this menu. So you are going to now type, so now you have explore. Remember, you can easily just copy this explore like this, highlight and copy, then you come here, click on this one, then you control V, meaning you have done this. Then the next thing you're now going to do is you're going to duplicate this again, and you're going to highlight this and hold on alt and left click and drag to the side here. So now when you duplicate this, the next content we're going to have in here is destination. So the next content we're going to have in here is destination. So now you have created this destination. Just like I said, you can double click and highlight it, let it all show blue like this. You now say Control C, then you come here, then change the name of this frame to destination. Then the next content you're going to have, you make sure you highlight this. The next menu we're going to have is you will duplicate this first, duplicate. After duplicating, bring it to the side, make sure you drag your canvas this way. Then the next one we're going to have about. Then let's remember to change the text of this. Then the next one will duplicate also. Then we're now going to have contact. So now when you put contact, remember to copy and also replace. So now you now have your menus here. We have home, we have explore, we have destination, we have about, we have contact. Then the next thing I said is we're going to have links, for example like WhatsApp link and Instagram link with maybe X, that's Twitter link. So for us to have that link is we're going to still come to this side of our Canva. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to right click. When we right click, you're now going to come to plugin area. When you come to plugin area, this drop down will still pop up, and you're now going to come to iconify. So in case you don't have any plugin yet, what you do is when you come to this plugin, when it opens this drop down pops up, you now come to manage plugin, click on manage plugin. Then you now come to this search, then you now search for iconify. So when you search for Iconify, this is going to come out. So this first one is what we are going to use. So you are now going to click on Iconify, then your Iconify is going to open like this. But for you, if it's your first time, you're going to see something at the bottom here where it's going to say run. What you just do is you click on run and it will open this for you. So when it opens this for you, the next thing you're going to do is we're going to come to this search icon and click. Then we're now going to search for our icon. So the first icon you're going to search for is WhatsApp. So when you enter, it will now give you this. So you're going to now pick an icon here. So what you do is you click on the icon, then you left click and drag outside to the canvas. So now you'll see it's already on my canvas. Then you now bring out the next icon, which is Instagram, and enter. So now you'll see that it has given you icon for Instagram. Then you now carry Instagram, you left click and drag out. Then the next icon is X. The next icon is X, which is Twitter. So Twitter, we'll now write Twitter is going to recognize, and we're going to have X here. So now we have X. So now we have two X's here. We'll pick one, then we'll bring it to the side here. Then now we're ready to now close this Iconify. So you now come to the X and close. So now we have this. So now what's the next thing you're going to do? The next thing now you're going to do is you need a frame. So now you're now going to come to this your tool area. Then you now click on this frame. When you click on this frame, then now you see your cursor will be showing plus. Then you come to this place, then you left click and you drag to create frame like this. When you left click and drag and create a frame like this, the next thing now you're going to do is to come to this area, to your right hand panel area. Under layout dimension, you see the width. You are now going to click on it and change the width to 32. Then you now come to height, click on height, then you change it to 32 also. So now you're going to have this. The next thing now you're going to do is to still scroll down on the right hand side panel. Now when you scroll down on the right hand side panel, then you come to corner radius here, which under appearance you'll see corner radius. Then you click on this corner radius, then you say 99, then you say enter. You will see that this your shape has now turned to circle. So now this is what we want. So now the next thing now you do here again is to come to this stroke. When you come to this stroke, you now come to this plus sign which says add stroke. Then you now click on this add stroke. So when you say add stroke, it has now added stroke to our frame here. So the next thing now you're now going to do after adding stroke is to come to this fill area. This fill area, you will come to this minus. You will see under this beside this color, you will see minus here, which is, if I hover on it, you see showing remove. You now see remove. So now you see what we've got. You see what we have. We have just this circle here because we've removed the color. So now the next thing I'm going to do is my text, this my WhatsApp logo here. I'm now going to highlight the whole frame. Don't pick, guys, don't pick only this logo. You see, as I'm highlighting, I'm only highlighting on this logo. You see this ICT baseline whatsoever is not blue, is not showing blue, meaning you've not highlighted on the frame. So guys, what you do is you need to carry the logo along with the frame. So what I'll come to this frame, click on the frame and highlight this frame like this. So once you highlight this frame like this, you're now going to come, bring your cursor on top of it, then you left click and you drag and bring it inside this frame. You see now, as I brought it inside this frame, you see it's showing cross a red line here, meaning it's telling me that it's at the center of this frame already. So I'll just leave it here. So now I have something like this. So the next thing now I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this frame, then I will double click on this frame 16, then I will now say WhatsApp. I'll now say WhatsApp. So guys, if you see this naming that I'm doing is a naming convention. We call it naming convention. It's good for you to name all your frames. So now, because if you name all your frames, if you don't name it, you'll just be seeing frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, frame 5 on this left hand side of the panel. You just be seeing frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, frame 5, and you might be confused. You wouldn't know which frame is which, right? So just for you to be able to arrange and understand or organize your layouts, your layers here, if you name them, it's now going to be easy for you to understand or to find a frame when you're looking for. So we'll name it to WhatsApp and enter. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to, while this WhatsApp frame is still highlighted, we'll now duplicate it, bring it here. Now when you will duplicate it and bring it here, the next thing we're going to do is to come to this Instagram frame. Then we will now click on it, then we will now cut it out. Then we'll say Control X. When we say Control X, we'll now come to this frame inside this WhatsApp frame. That's this WhatsApp logo frame here. As I bring my cursor here, you see that it's showing blue. So when you come and it's showing blue like this, all you need to do is to click on it, left click on it, then you now right click, then you now come to this place where it says paste to replace. Then you now paste to replace. You see it has replaced the WhatsApp with Instagram icon. Then you now still come here and change the name to. Then the next thing you're going to do now is to come here, click, then you now alt and left click and you duplicate. Remember, I've showed you people how to duplicate. So now when you duplicate, you now come here, you see this icon here is smaller. This icon here is smaller than this ones here. So what you do is we need to increase the size of this icon so it's a little bit, it matches the other icons. So you now come to this layout here, you will see under dimension, you will see the width is 14. So now we're going to change the width to 16. Then we'll now come here, height to 16 also. So in height 16. So we are now going to come back here to our shape when you our X logo. So we are now going to Control X to cut it. Sorry, remember it's the frame, the whole frame you need to carry. So you now Control X and cut. Then you come, you see it's highlighting this frame already. Then you now click on the frame for it to show blue completely like this. Then you now right click, then you now come to this area where it says paste to replace. Then you now click paste to replace, then it will paste to replace. So now what's the next thing you're going to do? Now we need to center this. It's not centered. So for us to center this, you're now going to come to this your right hand panel under position alignment. Then you now come to this align horizontal, then you now say center. Then you now come to align vertical, then you say center. So you have something like this. So now remember we're working with white colors. Now our nav menu is white, then our links too are going to be white. So the next thing we're going to do is we're now going to bring our cursor at the top left hand side. Then we'll now left click and we'll drag our mouse to highlight everything. So when we highlight everything like this, we'll now bring our cursor to the right hand side panel. Then we'll scroll down. When we scroll down, we're now going to see these selection colors. Now under this selection colors, you see the color here. It's showing that it's black color we have there. All the things I highlighted they are all black color. So I'm now going to click on this color box. It will bring out the color palette for me. Then you see this round and circle. I'm now going to hold it and I'll drag it to the top. You see, if you come to this color code, it's showing FFFFFF and 6 Fs, meaning white. So now everything is now white. You now cancel and remove the panel. So now the next thing you're now going to do which is the logo. I told you guys that I already have a logo. So I told you guys I already have a logo, so I'll bring out the get the logo. So then I'm going to bring the logo here. This is the logo, this is the company logo, Traverser. So now the next thing I'm now going to do is to start to arrange these things inside my desktop frame. I need to arrange these things inside my desktop frame. Now, how do I do that? First of all, for you to start arranging inside your frame, there's what we call grid layout. You need to have a grid layout. Now, grid layout helps you to arrange items, components inside your frame. It helps you in layout and composition. It helps you in organizing your content inside your frame. So now what we're going to do, for the sake of this tutorial, for those of you who don't know how to create a grid layout, we're going to create a grid layout. So what you do is you click on your frame, on your desktop frame. Remember, we're doing a naming convention, guys. So you click on this frame name, then we're now going to rename it hero section. We're going to name it hero section. So now when you click on this frame here, when you make sure your hero section, when it's highlighted this way showing blue, you now come to this your right hand side panel, then you now scroll down the second to the last item here which says layout grid. You now come to this plus sign and you click add layout grid. You now add layout grid. Once you add layout grid, the next thing you come to this place where it's showing grid here. You now come to the side, you see this drop down, click on the drop down. You now come to this column, then you click on column here. Once you click on column here, you now see count, you see margin, you see gutter, you see color, you see type, you see width. So the only things we're going to work with is this count. First of all, this counts, we are now going to change it to 12. We are going to write 12, type 12 here. Then we'll now come to the next one, which is margin. This margin here will come to this zero, this input field, and click on this input field to highlight the zero. Then we are now going to put 120. Once we do that, the next thing you are now going to do is to come to gutter. Then the gutter is 20. You're now going to highlight the 20 gutter. Then you're now going to make it 25. So when you make it 25, you're now going to say enter, and you have your grid layout. Now if you can't see the grid layout clearly, I'm going to zoom in. You just X here, it will take out this panel. So now as I've zoomed in, you can see the grid layout here. You see all these lines here. So this area is the margin, this area is the gutter, and these are the grids. So now we have our grid layout. So the whole aim is for this place to be empty. So this is our margin. We want this place to be empty, so we're going to arrange our items inside here. So now the next thing, I'm going to bring in my logo here. I'm going to bring my logo here. Now I have my logo. Then the next thing I'm going to do is use these all items here. I'm going to bring my cursor at the top left, and I'm going to left click and highlight all of them here, all the containers here, which is the home, explore, destination, about, and contact. After highlighting, I'm now going to put them into another container, which is auto layout. Then while they are all highlighted like this, I'm now going to click on Shift A. I have created another container. You see that it's showing here frame 16. So now I'm now going to click on this frame 16, and I'll now say navigation menu. So I'll now name it navigation menu. So I'll name it navigation menu. Then also these social media links, also I will highlight all of them this way. Left click, remember, left click and drag your mouse to highlight all of them this way. So after I've highlighted them, I'll also create another container for them. Then I'll say Shift A. Now it has created an auto layout Then the next thing I'm going to do, you see, is showing frame 16. I'm now going to click on frame 16. Then I will now name it links. So you can write social media links or whatever links. I just want to name mine links. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to work on the spacing. So you click on these links here, come to the right hand side panel. Now you see this area here where it's showing this number 8 here. This is where you do the spacing under auto layout. You come here, you see the spacing here. So the spacing is 8 here. I'm now going to change the spacing from 8 to 12 like this. So now you see the spacing. Then I'll come to this container also, which is navigation bar container. I will now come to this right hand side panel. I'll still come here to the direction and gap. Then I will change this to this 17. I'll click on it. I will now change the spacing to 32. So guys, if you want to know how I get my spacings numbers, you can also drop it in the comment section, so I do a video on it. So there's a metrics behind these numbers I'm getting, right? So once I've done that to giving spacing 32, the next thing I'm going to do is to bring this inside my screen here and arrange it. Bring it inside my frame and arrange it. Then this link, I'm going to bring it to this side. I'm going to bring it to this side. So now I want to make sure that these my items, this my logo, my nav menu, and this, I want to make sure they are organized. So for me to make sure that they are organized and they are balanced, is you would click on this, hold on shift, highlight this overall container also while still holding on shift. Then you come here to highlight on this container while still holding on shift. You would see that you are having this blue line. So now the next thing you do is you are now going to give it shift. So now that you're giving this shift A auto layout, you now have like this. You now have it arranged like this. You see how balanced it is. So now the next thing now we're going to do is to have my title, my hero title. So for the sake of this tutorial, I've already gotten a hero title, which I used ChatGPT to get. And I also want you guys to incorporate ChatGPT into your design, because it makes your design faster, it makes your work easier. So if you still want me to do a video about that, you can also drop it in the comment section, how I prompt my ChatGPT to get my titles, and my how you prompt your ChatGPT as a UI UX designer to get your titles and the body text. So so for the sake of this tutorial, I already have my title and my body text. These are my titles and body text. So I'm going to bring them. This is my title. I'm going to bring it, drag it inside the frame. So I'm going to drag it inside the frame this way. So I'm going to drag it inside the frame this way. So now this my title frame. You bring it out first. Remember naming convention. So now I first of all, you're going to have a text like this, right? Let me show you this from beginning. So it's this way. So you're going to have your text this way. So what I would want you to do is you have your title text. When you highlight it like this, the next thing you're going to do is you right click. When you right click, you're going to come to this frame selection. Then you're going to give it a frame selection. This is like auto layout, but it is different from auto layout container. So if you also want me to do a video about this, you drop it in the comment section, so I do a video on the difference between auto layout and frame selection. So now I will come to this my frame number here, which is frame number 7. Click on it. Remember, we are doing naming convention, so I'll rename it to hero title. So I'll say hero title. Then this also my body text, I'll click on it, then I'll right click, then I'll come here to frame selection, then I'll click on frame selection. Then once I've done that, you see the text is coming out down like this. So I'll reframe. I'll just bring the frame, open the frame more like this. Then here is showing frame 17. Then I'll just say hero body. You can add text just not to confuse yourself. So hero body text. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to organize. I'll now bring my hero title inside this frame this way. Bring my hero title inside this frame this way. Now then the next thing I'm going to do is to bring my hero body text inside the frame 2 also. So I have this. So the next thing we're going to create is a call to action. So after somebody has read the hero text, book your dream trip today, then the hero body text, hero titled book your dream trip today, then the body text which is from hidden gems to iconic landmarks. Traverser, sorry, there's a spelling error here, so I'll correct it. Traverser helps you explore the world your way effortlessly and affordably. That's the whole idea. Everybody wants something affordable, right? And everybody wants something easy, right? So now the next thing we're going to do is to create our buttons. And how do we create our buttons? So now this is what I want you to do, right? Just to make our work easier, right? So you don't need to create a button from scratch already. You've already created something like this. So what you do is you come to this frame, this home. You see this, you see not the text, not the text, not the text. What you want is the frame like this. When you make sure you're highlighting on this frame like this, you now say alt left click, then you duplicate and drag. You duplicate and drag. So you duplicate and drag. At times, for me, at times it goes back. So when it goes back, it has already duplicated. All you just need to do is to left click and bring it back to where you want it. So now I'm now going to bring it here. So now we're going to format it. How do we format it? Now for us to format it is we're going to come to this our right hand side panel, then come to under auto layout, under padding here, then we'll come to the left and right padding, then we'll click and highlight this 10 that is showing here, then we'll now add make it 24. So we'll make it 24. So now after doing this, is the next thing I'm going to do is to give it a color. So the color I'm going to use for the sake of this tutorial is a blue color, right? So how do I give color? How do we give this color? The next thing we're going to do is to come to this fill area under appearance. Sorry, not under appearance, fill. We'll come to this fill section, then come to this plus sign, click on this add fill. Then don't worry, it's going to show white, but this panel is here, so you're going to use this panel to do it. So you are now going to pick your colors through here. Now when you drag these like this, you'll get to see the color. So if in case you want me to do a dedicated video for this palette, you will let me know also. So for the sake of this tutorial, I already have some colors here. That's on this page. I have these colors here. I'll now just click on this color and you see the color has changed. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to close this, then come back here, click on this text, then I'll double click to make sure I highlight it like this. Then the next thing I will now do is to rename it. So to rename it, I will just easily do this. I'll just say book now. So book now, this is a call to action, remember. So I want somebody to just book his ticket, his trip now. So book now, The next thing, I will reduce the size of the text. The standard size of text is for button is 14. That's the standard size of text button. It's 14. So in case you also want to know how to know the standard size of text button, you also let me know in the comment section. I'll do a dedicated video about it. So I have my call to action button here ready. So the next thing we're going to do is, we can't just leave it empty like this. We need to feed our viewers eyes also, meaning some images and all. So how do we do that? The next thing now we're going to do is, we're going to create some images here, right, just to show them some other parts of places where they can go, right? So how do we do that? The next thing now we're going to do is, we're going to just come to this our shape tool, click on our rectangle. In case you don't have your rectangle up here, you just come to this drop down, click on this drop down, then you come to rectangle, click on rectangle, then you now create your shape. Now how do you create your shape? Now you now come here, then you now draw this, come here and draw this. So we have this. Make sure, remember, we align. You see this red line showing. So we have this. Then the next thing we're going to do is, we're going to duplicate this, then bring it to this side, but we're going to reduce the size of this. We're going to reduce this size like this, and like this. So we're going to reduce the size like this. So we're going to have something like this. So we'll bring this down a little, we'll bring this down a little. So we'll just make sure it's in the center like this. So now what next? The next thing, we're going to give this corner radius. So we'll click highlight on this shape, and then we'll come to the right hand side panel, then we'll come to this corner radius under appearance, then we'll click on it, highlight, then we'll say 12. I want to use 12. Then we'll come to this other one, to click on it under appearance, corner radius, then we're going to have the same 12. And the reason why we have 12 is for the sake of consistency. Remember, you need to be consistent across all your screens. You need to be consistent. So now the next thing now we're going to do is to have our images here. So we need to look for good images. So for us to get our images, the next thing now we're going to do is, we're going to right click, then we'll scroll down, come to plugins, then come to Unsplash. But in case you don't have Unsplash yet and you want to get, the next thing you do is you come to manage plugins, click on manage plugins here, then you now come to this search area, then you now type, then you say enter. Now when you put Unsplash and you say enter, it's now going to bring you this thing Unsplash. So if it's your first time, once it brings out this, you're going to see something like run down here, then you click on run and it's going to open this for you. So I'm now going to search for a tourist images, good images that I can put here. So now I have a place, a dream place in my radar, which is in Greece. So I'm going to search based on query based on that name. So that's Santorini. I really want to go there. Santorini, I really want to travel there. Actually, it's in my radar. So by the grace of God, I would see myself there. So I'm going to search for Santorini. It's a tourist area in Greece, very beautiful. I see images, so very beautiful. So I'm going to scroll down, pick a good image. So something full is beautiful, so like something like this. So all you do is you come to the screen, the image to be inside. You want to put the image, you come to the frame, to the rectangle you want to put the image. So like for me, I want to put it in this rectangle here. I'll click on this rectangle. The first image I want to put it in this rectangle, so I will come and so I'll just pick this image here, then put it. Then when I click, you see that the image is showing here. You see that the image is showing here. So now I have this first image, then this second image I want to put something different. So putting something different because I don't want to put Santorini again, so I'll just come and type tourist. So now for Unsplash, the trick is you just type what you're looking for. You just type in the query, and it will give you results if it has, right? So I'll just write tourist, attraction. So now this, I'm trying to say that I'm looking for a tourist attraction area. So it will now bring out these images for me. So I'm now going to try to look for which one is good. Which one is good for me? So I'm now scrolling. Which area? Let me see. I can actually use this. So I'll just click on this frame, then click on this image, and I have this. So now, then I'll close this. Then we have our hero section. Congratulations guys, if you've gotten to this level, congratulations, you've been able to create your hero section. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to arrange our items, give them spacing. So now this title here, I'll click on it. While clicking on it, I'll hold on shift. While I click on this title frame, I'll hold on shift, then click on this body text. So I'm going to now highlight this, click on this, then hold on shift, then click on this. So the next thing now is to give it spacing. Now for us to have the right spacing, first you bring out this title here. Don't worry. Oh well, it has created this thing already. So then we're going to bring out this here. So we want to do spacing here guys. So this button, I'll bring down this button here, bring this here, this text here. So now there's something wrong with this text. I just found out something, that this text came into this frame. You can see hero title, you can see body text here, so if I click on this body text here, I'll bring it out. Just see on my left hand panel, you see I'll bring it out here, bring it out. So guys, there's a problem here, and for us to be able to solve this problem, so I have brought it out now. So what I did was mistakenly I put it inside this frame, frame selection. I put it inside this frame selection. So how I noticed was from this my layers. That was why I said name your layers. You see all my layers have name. Home section, you see home, you see hero title, you see a hero body text. So guys, and is this section here. So what we'll do, this home section, we're going to rename it. Then we're not going to say button, so we're going to rename it to button. Sorry, I forgot to. So we're going to rename it to button. So we see these are the things we have, they are all named here. So now how do I give this spacing, right? So we can now come back. I was trying it inside the screen, inside the frame, and it wasn't working, which was why I brought it out, thinking maybe the problem was because it was inside the frame. But you see it has entered again, so I'm still going to bring it out. So now button. So now the next thing, now I said we're going to do naming. We're going to name. So now we're going to give spacing. So for the spacing, I'm going to click on this frame here, hold on shift and highlight this. So you see, this was what I wanted to do. So when you hold on shift and you highlight this way, you now come to the right hand side of the panel. You see this area where it's showing spacing. This is what we're going to work with. So now I'm now going to click on this spacing here. So when I click on this spacing here, I'm now going to say 16. So I want the spacing to be 16 in between this hero title and hero body text. So 16 here. So after doing that, the next thing is this my button here. So this button, what is the spacing between this and this button, right? So I'll click on this, then left click and hold, then click on this button. Now I'll come to my right hand side of the panel. You see this spacing here is showing 40. So I'll now click on this place, then I'll say 32. So 32. So now, how do we know that this is well aligned, right? How do we know that this is well aligned? So for us to align it well, which we're going to remove it because we're going to do an interaction. For interaction sake, we'll remove it, but for alignment sake, what we'll do is we'll click on this, hold on shift, click on this, right? Then we'll give it auto layout, then hold on this, click on this, then we'll give it auto layout also. So now with this, I know for sure that it is aligned. I know for sure that it is aligned. So now I would now remove the auto layout. I'll say right click, then I'll come to this ungroup and ungroup the overall container, then this one too, because I gave this container first. So I'll now come to this one too, then I would right click, then I would ungroup. So I have this. So the next thing now is this spacing and this spacing. So I'll click on this, then come to this spacing, then give it let's say 16. 16 is okay. Then I'll just shift it to the side with my right button, left button, to push both of them like this. Then I have this. So now, congratulations guys, we are done with our hero section landing page. So the next thing now we're going to do is we're going to now start duplicating to have that interaction animation. So we're now going to give it interaction animation. So now the next thing we're going to do is, you see this whole screen, we're going to come to this whole screen, come to this top, click and highlight. Make sure we're highlighting this whole screen, make sure everywhere is showing blue. Then we'll now hold on alt, left click, and we'll drag it to the left hand side and duplicate like this. We'll duplicate it like this. Now once we've duplicated it like this is where we now start working on our interaction moves guys. I'm so excited, pardon me. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this frame. We need to put this frame in an frame selection. So for the sake of our interaction moves, it needs to be in a frame selection. So you click on this frame too, right click, then you come to frame selection, then you click, give it a frame selection, come to this place too, right click, then you give it a frame selection. Now the next thing you do is, this is our button, we'll right click, we'll also give it a frame selection. We'll click on it, right click, then we'll give it a frame selection. Now guys, there's something we've not done. So now, for example, for somebody might see these images here and you'll be wondering, where is this location, where is this location? Because oh, I know that this place is Santorini, I don't even know where this place is, right? So for UX sake, because as a UI UX designer, as you're doing UI, you're also considering US. So for UX sake, right, we need to give them titles. And for us to give these titles, what I would want us to do is let's just give it title, for because I want you guys to always do the right thing. So for me to get this title here, I would want a readable text. So I'll come here, guys, or better still, you see this button here, I'll come to this button here, then I'll click. Is the button I want, not the frame I created. Remember, if you see the right hand side of the panel, you see this is the frame for the button, right? This is the frame for the button. This is the button because we've named the frame, we've made it button already. So I would left click and hold Control C. I would alt and left click and drag out like this, right? So I'll drag it out like this. So the next thing I will do is, the name is already a button. I'll come to the left hand side for this same frame. I'll just say title. I'll just say title. Just title. Just title is okay. So then I'll come here, zoom in, then I would write the name of, I'll say Santorini. I don't know the name of the other place actually, but for the Santorini, then on this frame, click on the, is already a frame, not a button anymore because it's a title. What I will do is I will duplicate, I don't know the other place, I don't know what's the name of this place, but for this sake we'll just put California. So we'll just put California, or we'll put London. So we have something like this. So we are not done yet. I still want to do something to this. What I'll do is, you see here, I'll come to the right hand side here, then scroll down, come to appearance, then you see corner radius. I'll give it 12. Then this also, click on it, then corner radius, come to the right hand side panel, appearance, corner radius, then I'll give it 12. Then you drag, sorry, I dragged the text out. I'm supposed to carry the button, so you drag, put inside this frame. This one too, you drag, put inside the frame. So we have something like this. So I have this. So now you see this is better. Now instead of just being empty, nothing there, this is better. So what I'll do is, I'll click on this frame, click on this frame, click on this frame. You see, I will have to rename it. I'll just say image, or put Santorini. Then I'll click on this frame too, then it's showing frame 17. Then I'll put London. Guys, remember, naming convention, London. Now I would copy out this frame here. All I need to do is to click the frame, Control C, copy, then you click on this one, then you would right click, then you say paste to replace. Then also this one, you Control C, then come here, click on this, then you say paste to replace. So now you see it's the same. So now we are now going to create another frame selection on this image frame here. We'll now click on it, right click, then we'll say frame selection. We'll come here, we'll right click, then we'll say frame selection. Now the reason why we are doing this is because it's a rectangle. It is the rectangle we use. If we hadn't given it frame selection, if without giving it frame selection, for example, let me show you an example. This ungroup, and let me ungroup again, so now this does not have any frame selection. This already does not have. So this is just the image that we did, and this is the title. So now let's take, for example, I want to move this item around. See what will happen when I click on this image and I drag it. You see it has left this London title. So now let me go back again, Control Z to make it as it was. So now you see, when I now give all of this, when I highlight all of this, right, the reason why I give them highlight all of this and I right click and I give them frames, if you give them frame selection, now let me carry this now, move around. You see now it's moving with everything because I have putting it inside a frame. So that's why I have the first frame, and now the second frame I created, was the one that I told you guys that is because we are planning to do some moves. So it's for our moves, right? So that's why I have two frame selections there, guys. So I had to explain so you guys understand. So now we are ready to start working on our moves. So what are the moves we want to happen? So the first move we want to happen, guys, what I want you to do is, you see this, you are now going to start ungrouping this. You see this already, we gave it a an auto layout, right, just to make sure it's balanced. So now we'll come click on the overall container, which is the auto layout, then we'll right click, then we'll ungroup. You see now that you've ungrouped, you now come to this one too. You know, this one also has its auto layout that we give spacing. So you now click on the overall auto layout too, then you right click, then you now come and you ungroup. So now when you ungroup, you're not going to, you don't scatter it to the way it is. This is how we want it, right? So don't worry, this, leave it like this. All of these you've ungrouped. You see now you've removed the container that you put around the 5 items. Then this, you leave this like this, the way it is, your logo. So now what's the next thing we're going to do, guys? The next thing we're going to do is, while clicking, highlighting on this logo, we'll hold on shift, come click on this home, click on this explore, click on destination frame, click on about frame, click on contact frame, click on link frame, right? Then what we'll now do, guys, is we'll now, while highlighting all of them, then we'll now click on this up button to drag everything up. Guys, you see where my items are. When I release the up button, you will see a blue line showing you where your items are. So guys, I know you'll be saying, I can't see it, I can't see anything, no, I can't see anything, no. Mr. Mo, I can't see anything, no. Okay, calm down. I'm going to show you what to do next. I hold your hand, I walk you through everything step by step, simple and easy. So now, right, now that I've dragged it here, the next thing I want you guys to do is, see guys, click hero section. You click on this hero section. You see this, your hero title, you click on it to make sure you highlight everything. Then you come to this right hand side panel, right? You see this check mark for this clip content. You uncheck it. Ta-da! You see everything is showing. You've unchecked it and everything is showing. So the next thing you do is, guys, leave this logo here, pick this home, pick this explore, pick this destination, pick about, pick contact, and pick this link. Then you move up, then the next thing I want you to do is to hold on your shift, then unclick home, then you move the remaining ones up. Then the next thing I also want you to do is to hold on your shift, then you unclick explore, then you move the remaining ones up, then hold on your shift, unclick destination, move the remaining ones up. Remember, it's up key that we're pressing to take it up. Then you hold on shift, unclick about, then you move the remaining ones up, then you hold on shift, unclick contact, then you move the link up. So the whole idea, guys, is to have these slanted moves. We want them to enter to be ahead of each other, right? That's the whole idea. So now, guys, now that you've done this, the next thing you can do, or you go ahead and do, the next thing you go ahead and do is to come back, click on this your section. While clicking on this your hero section, come back to this clip content and check it back again. You see everything has disappeared. So now the next thing now we're going to do is come to this your book. Remember, we've given it this frame selection. So now you see this button, this text, this text inside this frame selection. You click on the text, right? You click on the text. when you click on the text and you're highlighting this text like this, or better still, the easiest way, I want you to click on the overall frame selection, then come to this clip content, right? You see you won't see anything, then you check it. When you check it, you now come back to this text, double click, make sure you're highlighting on this text, make sure this line under the text is showing like this. Then what you now do next is while highlighting on this text like this, you now click on the down button. Now it is hiding inside that frame. It is hiding inside that frame. Can you guys see? The next thing now, this frame 2 for this text here, this frame selection for this text, you click on it, then you come again, clip content. The idea of clip content is, if you clip content, that item that is inside the content, if you put it down, if it goes down inside, you won't see anything. But if you uncheck it, you will see that the item is showing, but it's still inside that frame, not that it's outside the frame. It's still inside, but it will show, it will surface. So now for this frame here, for this hero frame here, frame selection we created here, we are now going to come and clip content. We'll check the clip content. Now you now double click, make sure you are highlighting. Remember, if you highlight on the text, if the text is highlighted, you see a blue line under the text. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to now bring it down. You see everything, don't hide. So now the next thing, now you now come to your button. Remember, we created a frame 2 for the button. You now double click, and if you come to this left hand side panel, you see that your button is what's clicked. So now this is the frame for the button, right? So now the frame for the button, we are now going to come here, we'll click on the frame for the button, come here, then we'll clip content, we'll check clip content, then we'll now double click to make sure we're highlighting on our button. Then we'll now do this. You see everything is hidden. So now guys, we are left with this. So now we'll double click. When we double click, or better still guys, we need to click once on the frame. You see frame 20, we'll click, then we'll clip content, then the image, the main frame, we'll double click to get the main frame, which is, if you come to the left hand side panel here, you see London. This is our main frame. Remember I told you guys, naming convention. You see the beauty of naming convention, you'll be able to know which is which, or which one you are clicking. Then we'll take this one down like this. We'll take this one down like this. The same thing with this. Click on the whole frame, clip contents, then we'll double click to make sure we're clicking on Santorini here, then we'll take it down too. So guys, at the end of the day, what you're going to have is, you're going to have this. You're going to have this. So if you don't have something like this, then you've done something wrong. You have to rewatch the video to see what I did. So the next thing we're going to do is, you're going to click on this overall empty screen, then you now left click, alt and left click, then you drag and duplicate, bring it to this side. You duplicate, bring it to this side. Now guys, sorry, there's something we need to do first before we duplicate this. So don't just delete it. If you duplicated, just delete it. So the next thing we're going to do is, we're going to bring an effect. We're going to add an effect, right? So what's that effect we're going to add into this is your shape, right? You're going to come to this, your rectangle shape. Then when you click, you carry your rectangle shape, you now bring it here, right? You bring the cursor at the top here, just like the way we do the other shapes, those rectangles. Then you drag, right? I need you to drag it to draw it like this. So what I want you to do, let me zoom out so that you see it clearly. What I want you to do is to make sure that this shape is fit into the screen like this. So when you make sure that the shape is fit into the screen like this, the next thing you do is you bring out the shape like this. Bring it out guys, don't worry, bring it out. So now after bringing it out, now what we want to have on this shape, but before then, we'll come to this right hand panel, come to this, under this view, we'll see this place, we'll click on this color palette. We're now going to change it to white. Just click on this and drag it up, so it has changed to white. The next thing now we're going to do is our name. We want to have our name here. So I already have it here on our logo here. So I'll just come here, double click. In case you don't have it on your logo, you have to write another one. So I'll just take this one because I already have. So I'll now bring it here. I'll now bring it here. So I'll now bring it here. So guys, I was not supposed to change the color of this because I have white text, right? So let me take this color back. Let me take this color back. Let me take this color back. So this is our text, right? This is my company name, which is Traverser. You see now, guys, it might happen to you. You see this text now is under this. Now I want it to be on top of this rectangle. If this happens to you, you just right click, then you now come here, then you say bring to the front, then you have this. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to increase the size of this frame, make it bigger, this text, make it bigger. So how am I going to do that? I want it to fit the screen. So while highlighting on the text, I'm now going to click on K, which is scale. Now where you will see that this thing has double. So now I'm now going to scale this text like this. You see, I'll bring it to the center and scale it. So now you see this red cross, this thing is showing me that everything is in the center. So now I have this. So now after doing this, what next? The next thing is you come to this right hand side of the panel. You see this close, you close your scale. After closing your scale, you now come to this top parts of of your canvas on top of the shape. You now left click and you now highlight everything. When you highlight everything like this, the next thing you will do is to come here to these three dots you can see here. You say more actions. You now click on these more actions. You now come to this subtract. You now come to this subtract and click on subtract. You see it has subtracted the text here. So now we need to change this back to white because I want it to be in white color. In case you want yours to be in another color, it's fine, but I want mine to be in white color. So I'll just come here, fill here this color box here, click on the color box. It opens the color palette. I'll come turn it back to white. You see it's showing FFF. You know that it's white. That's the color code for white. So now after doing that, guys, this frame, I'm now going to drag it inside this. I'm going to drag it inside this frame like this. So now when I drag it inside this frame, we need to align it, make sure everything is well aligned, guys. So while it's still highlighted, you come here, you see this alignment, you see this center it, make sure it's in the center. You come, make sure is. So now you see everything is well aligned. Everything is well aligned. So now what next, guys? What next? The next thing now we have to do is, this is where we now duplicate this. This is where we now duplicate this. So now we're now going to click on this hero section, then would alt left click and drag. So now when you alt left click and drag, you have now duplicated this. So now another trick, another magic, guys, another magic. The next magic you're going to do is you're now going to expand this. Now I want, when my zoom in is happening, I want my zoom in to happen in this my center text, which is this V, right? Your own, it depends on the name of the company you're using. It can be any name, but you can look for the center text. If you have two center text, you can pick one. You can pick any one of them, right? So me, I have just one center text, meaning I have three here, I have three here, one in the center. So I want it to zoom into the center. So how am I going to do it? If I want that to happen, I will double click on this frame. You see this subtract, you see this subtract. You come here, when you click on this, you see this subtract frame here is subtract. So when you see this subtract here, you come to this drop down, click on this drop down. You see this traverser name, you click on the traverser name. Now when you click on the traverser name, the next thing now you do is to expand. How do you do it? You scale. You now press on K to put it into scale mode. Then what you do is you expand like this. So now as I am expanding, just watch how I expand. As I am expanding, I want to make sure that this screen is inside this V, like it's inside this V like this, inside this V like this, right? That's what I want to make sure. So it depends on what letter you want your screen to open inside. So this is what you do. You scale. So I'll keep dragging. You keep dragging and zooming out, dragging and zooming out, dragging and zooming out. So still on my V. So you zoom out, so you drag and zoom out, so I zoom back. So now I think it's under my V. So now I have something like this, right? So now for you to see your text, you just click here and it will show you your text. So you see what I have. So I'll just zoom in. Now I'll click on this my hero section. Now I have this. So now guys, I have this. So now we'll start. Before we prototype, guys, I want you to do something, right? Before we prototype, I want you to do something. What I want you to do is I want to come back to these frames here, these frame selections here. Click on it. Make sure they're all on clip contents. Clip content, put it in clip content. Click on this frame, put it in clip contents. Click on this one. Oh, we forgot to do something. And what we forgot to do is we forgot to duplicate this. We forgot to give this a frame selection before we took it there. So now I'm going to give it frame selection. After giving it frame selection, guys, just for us to I'll clip content, right? Then clip content, come here, this frame here, clip content, come here, this frame, clip content, then come here. Guys, you see this auto layout here. We need to take this container, we need to remove it. If we don't remove this container, our animation is not going to work well. So we need to remove it. So we'll click on the container, then we'll right click, then we'll ungroup. We'll come here, the center container, also right click, then we ungroup. So now since I just found out that I have not given this frame selection, and I gave it another, I just gave it frame selection. Now you need to make sure you give everything frame selection, like from here, these images, you need to make sure you give them frame selection before duplicating. Now because I duplicated and I didn't get to give this frame selection, I will have to copy this frame selection here. I'll copy this frame selection here, then I'll come here, look for the button. You see the button frame selection here. I'll click on it, then I'll left click, right click, then I'll paste to replace. Then I will still take it back inside again. So I'll click on the button, make sure, double click, then you see it's clicking on my button, then I can now take it back inside again. So now guys, the reason why you need to do this is because this prototype of a thing, it remembers a frame. So before you duplicate, make sure you do the needful before you duplicate, so it remembers. So it might not work well, right? When you do it, you'll not be wondering, what's happening, why is this thing not working well, because I thought I did it well. So now guys, now it's time for us to do our prototype. And for us to do our prototype, what you do is you go to this right and top part of the screen on the panel, then you'll click on the prototype, go into prototype mode. Then the next thing you do is you come here, this side of this screen here, click on this screen. You see it will show this plus sign here. When you show plus sign, you left click, you drag, you connect it to the second screen. So what is the prototype here that we're going to do? Now what we're going to do here is you come here, this trigger, you now click on the drop down, then you scroll down to after delay. When you click on after delay, then delay, we want it to take its little time for you to see the name of the company before it zooms in. So for me to be able to achieve that, I'm going to give this 2000, or I'll give it 1000 millisecond. So I'll give it 1000, so we can adjust it later. If it did not work the way I want it, you can always adjust it. So 1000 millisecond. So the next thing I want to do is to come here to animation, then I'll click on this drop down, then put it in smart animate. Then I will now come to this, leave it the curve, and leave the animation smart animate curve, leave it at ease out. Then duration, then for duration I'm now going to give it let's say 2000. For duration I'll give it 2000. So for duration 2000. Now that's all. Once you give duration 2000, that's all. Then the next thing, you come to this also, you click, you see it's showing plus sign already, you left click and drag and connect to this screen. So now when it connects to this screen, what do you want to happen? What do you want to happen when it clicks to the screen? So what you want to do is click on the trigger, then you after delay, then 1 millisecond, then you come to curve here. Then for the curve, we want it to be linear, and for our linear we want it to be 2000. We'll leave it at 2000 also. So when we check the prototype, we'll see for ourselves. So we'll leave it at 2000. So now we are done with our prototype. So let's test our prototype and see. So we'll click on the prototype here. Once we click on our prototype here, then we'll come to this first screen, which is flow. We'll click on it. Once we click on it, we'll come to this plus sign, then we'll click on this plus sign, and our prototype is going to open. It's loading and our prototype is going to open. Then you click on these two lines, then you come to fit width. For it to fit width, then we have something like this. Then let's replay it and see. So there's something we need to fix, right? There's something we really need to fix. So I'll come take this out, then come back here, then the screen here, the subtraction here in this middle, the subtraction here, we need to, so I'm going to delete this subtraction here. Then I'm going to come here because it's not working the way I want it to work, right? So I'll come here, pick this subtraction here, duplicate and bring it inside the screen. Now when I do that, I'm now going to, so in case you do and you see that it's only the later you zoomed and you see that before it goes in it was showing that, just know that you did it wrong. So I did this purposely, I did this intentional, because I have some of my students who are going to expand just the letters here. They are going to double click and just expand this one, and you would see it will not work the way it's supposed to work. So now if case you find yourself you've done that, the next thing what you need to do is to look for, click on the screen. Remember, we've done naming convention. Come to subtraction for the screen, click on it. Once you click on it, you just delete. Once you delete, you come to this screen, take the subtraction, you come to this screen, click on it, then pick the subtraction. Once you pick the subtraction, then now you click on the subtraction, then you come to the screen, alt and drag and place it back into this screen. So now the next thing now we're going to do, when we're clicking on this screen, you see the subtraction, I'll click on it. Once I click on the subtraction, this is what I'm now going to expand. So now I will now enter scale mode. So now I'll start expanding, I'll start expanding, I'll start expanding, I'll start expanding. I'll start expanding. So now you see with this there's difference. You can actually see the letter clearly. So I'll start expanding. So you zoom out and you expand, because I'm making sure that that screen, that center screen, you see this center screen is inside this V. That's what I want to achieve. So I'll expand. Okay, I think now, sorry guys, sorry, I will take it back. I would now expand. I would expand. So I want it to be under, so I will just move it like this. So to be under like this. So you see the V is showing. So you see this, our middle screen is under, you see it's inside the V. So I'll now click on this hero section. So now let's go back and check our prototype again. You come, this is our prototype. We'll click on our prototype. After clicking, remember guys, you come here, make sure it's in fit width, then you now open this whole screen, then you now press R. Have you seen? Have you seen? So you see these images now. You see these images. You see these images. You see these images, the way they are coming. They are just like flashing in. Meanwhile, I want them to slide in. You see, there's a problem happening, and I did that intentional too. So in case you find yours too like that, what you just do is, maybe this is in an auto layout, maybe this is in an auto layout. So you to find out, then you come here, click to find out. So you see this, you see this particular one does not have a second frame selection, does not. So what we'll do is we'll come here, we'll right click, add frame selection to this, come here, right click and add frame selection to this, right? Remember I told you, if one does not have, or if you duplicate screen and you've not finished doing everything you're supposed to do on this first screen, there's going to be a problem. Your this thing might not work the way it's supposed to work. So let's go back and retest again. So now what's happening now? What is happening now is because it's because we have not, do you understand? It's because we created auto layout for this separately, while this one we created frame selections for these two separately from this. So even though we've given two of them frame selection, it's still going to be a problem because it's separate. So we need to make sure that the we need to give frame selection here on this first screen before we can duplicate the whole screens. Guys, do you understand? So now what we'll do is, if you now fall into this category, you now click on this, because we've given this frame selection already. You'll say Control C, you copy, then you come click on this frame here, right? Then you right click, then you say paste to replace, then you copy, you click on this one too, you copy, then you click on this frame here, then you say paste to replace. So what you is, you now come here, then you double click, make sure you're clicking on the Santorini frame, then you take it down, then you take it down, then you take it down, then come click on the frame. Remember guys, I said clip content, so you click on this frame too first, give it a clip content, then you now click on the London frame, not the last frame selection, then you take it down like this. You see it working this way. So the last thing again, we'll click on this frame, go to prototype, then click here. This animation it takes time before it comes in. We're now going to reduce it. We're now going to reduce it to 1000 millisecond. We're now going to reduce it to 1000 millisecond. So now what do? We replay again. So now I'm sure everything is going to work now. So click, you see how everything is coming in. So the image is showing before it comes inside, so we'll click on this frame selection, then we'll click content. To click on this frame selection, click content. So now guys, you see, if you don't do everything, make sure everything is well done here on the first screen, you will see that you would have to still go back and be redoing them. So guys, this is actually to teach and for you to understand the metrics behind prototyping, right? So we're now going to finally test this, and I believe this text, you'll see this image like it's not going to show before it comes out. So if I click on R, have you seen? If that helped you add some motion magic to your designs, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more Figma and UI UX tutorials every week. Drop a comment and tell me what UI animation should we try next.